Hello and welcome to a new episode of Insta Talk, the show that covers all the latest stories on social media by your favorite influencers, bloggers and lifestyle experts. I'm your host Dina, and today we're talking about cancel culture and whether free speech is under threat. Cancel culture is described as the popular practice of withdrawing support for public figures and companies after they have done or said something that's considered offensive. Recently, 150 academics, writers, and activists signed an open letter in Harper's Magazine expressing concern that a new set of moral attitudes and political commitments are weakening the norms of open debate and toleration of differences in favor of ideological conformity. So, is cancel culture threatening our right to free speech? And why do some say cancel culture doesn't exist? Today by the CEO of Enigma magazine, Ms. Yasmin Shahata, to weigh in on cancel culture and find out if cancel culture has affected the way Enigma operates. Hello, Yasmin, and welcome to Insta Talk.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Now, where do you stand on the argument that cancel culture is attacking our freedom of speech?
Well, I think the beauty of social media is that everybody has a voice. And as long as you're not bullying or insulting people, if somebody has said or done something that you find offensive, I think it's a great thing that, you know, even the average Joe can speak out and speak directly to a politician or a celebrity or a CEO on their social media and voice their views. I personally am of the opinion is if somebody gives a sincere apology and it's their first offense, that as a general public we should be a little bit more forgiving, because
Right.
Everybody makes mistakes, and I don't think we would all like to be judged in that way if we were public figures, by our first or small transgression. Obviously, it depends what the issue is. If it's murder or rape, then maybe we don't forgive. But then I feel the law is better to handle those things. If it's severe sexual assault or any harm of any kind, the law is best to deal with that. But of course, people can have every right to have an opinion and have their opinions heard.
Yeah. I mean, has cancel culture changed the way in which you operate at Enigma at all? I mean, are you more cautious to write your opinions, or do you feel that there is more of a rigid guidelines that you have to stick to so that you don't actually appear as if you're, sort of being offensive?
Yeah, I think, because the sort of ethos of Enigma is always to promote the best of the Middle East, and if we interview international celebrities, it's celebrities that have had a positive impact on our region. Same with CEOs. So we're not the type of publication that anyway would go and interview anybody that has some kind of a negative controversy. If it's a positive controversy, like at the time of when Best in Music came out, his show took over the Middle East. Some people loved him, some people didn't. But he's a person of interest, and we were the first people to feature him. So that kind of positive controversy based on somebody's work or their production or their creative, vision, we don't mind. But we tend to stay away from anybody with negative associations, like of any kind, actually.
Yeah. So are you the sort of company, shall we say, that would cut and edit things that would appear offensive so that you don't actually portray that to your viewers? So are you more in control?
Yeah, if somebody has said something offensive that we think they didn't realize or they don't know how it comes across, we definitely would do that,
Yeah.
Because our reputation and our history is also based on the relationship that we've built throughout the years. So we always want to show people in their best light.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, some argue that the cancel culture doesn't exist, as those who are the easiest to target, like celebrities, are never really cancelled. But people often are publicly ashamed and bullied online. So we talk so much about mental health and wellness. So why do we discard our care for mental health at the first sign of something we don't like?
Okay. um,
So, I mean, do we actually, when we're talking about mental health and wellness,
like, why are people popular again afterwards? I think that's the power of celebrity culture now. You know, celebrities have such loyal fans. I mean, a great example is Michael Jackson. I remember all the controversy and, you know, whether it was proven or not, Michael Jackson has this hardcore loyal fan base over the years. And then some people have an argument, which you may or may not agree with whatever people do in their personal life. If they produce great art and great work, that should be judged separately, you know. So so it's, I think if the person in question is popular enough, they can survive. If not, like, I think there's an example of this congresswoman in the US who had a scandal about an affair. And obviously, she was a first term congresswoman. She didn't have enough following, so she was immediately kicked out. And that's maybe the end of her, you know? But if somebody has a huge international fan base, I think the fan base usually forgives, you know?
That's right. Yes. I mean, sometimes you find that
okay, but I have something to add.
Yeah.
This is a good edit. But then again, there are examples like Kevin Spacey, who many feel never truly recovered. He lost his show House of Cards. He hasn't done any major big movies since. He was cut out of a movie that was about to come out right at the time the scandal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think part of it is also depending on how genuine the apology is and how much positive action the person in question does to make up for their mistakes.
Yes. That's right. Yes. I mean, we do have a lot of examples about celebrities. And like you said, the fan followings tends to be the one that actually is a big indicator of whether they will be forgiven or not. And actually, you notice this also in social media. You know, if for example, you've got what happened with, say, Bella Hadid, for example. We've been talking about it. We've talked about it last week, and we said how Bella Hadid, when she posted a picture of her father being Palestinian on his passport, a picture of his father's passports, and saying how proud she was as Palestinian, and then all of a sudden, Instagram removed it. But then there was a lot of anger on social media, and then they sort of posted it again and apologized. So I think, don't you think that if the fan base happens to be has a major role in these situations?
Of course, because all these companies survive based on their users and their public opinion, and especially if they're a publicly listed company, public opinion matters. I actually wasn't aware of that Bella Hadid incident, but I think it's great news that they actually allowed her to repost it, because, yeah, I mean, again, that is not offensive. Just that is who she is. You know, nobody should be criticized for putting their actual passport or their father's actual passport. You know, that's not even an opinion or a transgression of any kind.
Yes.
So no, I'm actually very happy to hear that they did that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Yasmin Shahata, for the CEO of Enigma Magazine, for joining us today. We look forward to having you more on the show, hopefully.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Best of luck.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Kendall Jenner has put forward a strong case for summer knitwear. The newest trend is telling us all that crocheting knitwear can be cool, sleek and fashion-forward. The world-famous supermodel who's walked the biggest brands and shows and held the title of the highest-paid supermodel in the world is known for her effortlessly cool street style. It's not the first time Kendall has led the way with a new fashion fad, which she often shows off to her 117 million Instagram followers. She was recently pictured wearing a black, breathable knit outfit from designer Saudi Islam. The vampy new take on clothing associated with the colder months has the world-famous model leading the charge of this new trend. We're heading to our fashion
Rana, how are you?
Hi Dina, I'm well, Habibti. How are you?
I'm very well. I love the yellow top. It looks stunning on you.
Thank you, thank you.
Every
It's
color
like
suits
yellow
you.
with
Every color.
metallic.
Every
Thank you,
color
Habibti.
suits you,
Thank you.
Habibti.
Thank you,
By the
dear.
way, for
Thank
those of you
you.
that don't know what Habibti means, it means darling. So just to sort of
Oh, yeah.
they
Okay.
can learn Arabic as well.
Good.
Okay, right. Okay, so today we're talking about Kendall Jenner. Now, Kendall's two-piece knit look from Saudi Islam comes obviously at a very high price. What high street shops are on the summer knit trend at the moment? So what can you tell us?
Look, Dina, because we are ending with August, so bye-bye August and hello September. Yeah, so we're gonna start with fall season. So the net is very like we say must-have piece. So I think all of us have like a net piece because need to be have a piece to get us warm. So I think what I see the Kendall Jenner piece, I saw her yesterday at performing, wearing the Burberry jumper, big white jumper, which I remember I have a piece very similar. But it's like,
very
yes,
nice.
a white jacket, because white this season for winter is very trendy.
Right.
So I just remember it, and it's a very nice piece that you can see how the net sewing is different, like one big, one small.
So
with
much detail is in this jacket.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes. So I think that. Oops, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think also in summer we have like like famous with a crochet back again, to our grandmothers
this is
doing
very nice
crochet.
because you can wear the crochet on I don't know, I can see myself wearing it on a turtleneck top, on a shirt, on so you can actually have freedom
and we saw this
these
pieces a lot on the beach.
Oh yes, true.
Yes, and as we said, like net is coming for winter, like you had this local designers, Lebanese DJ Lady by D. You can see the denim.
It's different. Very nice.
Yeah, she mixed it with like normal fabric and like with the net sleeves.
So she's added that little knitted part to it. Yes. That is very stylish, by the way. I can see myself wearing it.
Yes. And we can also, the cardigan with the light colors. Also, we can find them at Zara, H&M.
Yeah.
This is like a must-have also.
The thing about me, Rana, though, for example, from my experience, is that I end up getting cardigans that are either black or brown. I never try bright colors like the one that you've got there. So how can we, do you think we should try, sort of to get out of the black and brown and try different colors, and especially with autumn coming?
Yes, like what, the piece I'm wearing is like a metallic, and you can see, we can see by Zara, H&M, yes, they have a green, light green, neon colors, all jumpers with a net.
I see.
Made out of net, yes.
Right,
yes.
Okay.
And
how do I actually wear the knit for like an evening out? Because again, I only see wearing knitwear for the daytime, but going out in the evening, how can I sort of
we can see there's a long net dress which I will show you now.
Okay. Yeah. I love Brenna's wardrobe.
See.
Yes.
A long net dress.
Very nice.
Long net. Yeah. This piece is very popular. I got this from Zara, And I think every year they repeat it.
I see.
They
Yes,
repeat,
that's true.
like, you know, with the high neck.
With a high neck, I love anything that's got high neck, and obviously you can wear maybe a belt with a long chain, necklace.
Exactly, we can, and also, you know, like we can have like a long jacket, you know, also with a net. Look,
this is so green. Pretty. Wow,
yes.
I love the sleeves.
You
so
see?
Pretty.
Yeah, you
Very
can see that they added, you know, the net on the side with a cardio. Yeah. So
this is really pretty.
Yeah, we can, like, I'm telling you, like, this can be as a skirt on top of the jeans.
This looks amazing.
And you can add a scarf.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
I love this. This is one piece I really need to buy.
You know, accessories are very, very important. Like, see these, Penny, you know, also the hats.
This is lovely, yes. Obviously, the knitwear hat, like the sort of knitted hats, they're very common. And we have to wear them during, like, when it snows, when it's really cold.
Exactly. You know, like this black and white.
This is nice.
With gray, having all colors, because you like, but you can, Yani, you know, you can, like, go with the light colors, you know, pink, orange.
These are really bright colors.
Yes. Yeah, some
and the accessorize, when you accessorize knitwear, so can you give us some tips then? I mean, obviously you told us about the hats, the knitted hats,
and
scarf, and then obviously the scarf. What else that you can use as an accessory?
Like some you know, like some vest on top of, you know, so like a brown color, you see.
This is very nice.
With you can see, you know, it's I think in winter, because we're gonna have like layers, a lot of layers, so would be a lot, like some having like scarves with a, you know, on the border, like
nice. It's very common to get the shawls. You know, when you choose your item, your knitwear, I mean, do we go for the woolen ones? Do we go for cotton? Do we, you know, how do we choose, you know, sort of the fabric for our knitwear? Or it doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't. But I think it depends on where do you live, on the weather, you know, because it's like a level of netting. You know, you don't need, like, if you're living in a warm place like Dubai, you don't need that heavy netting. But when you travel, like we come to London, or, you know, to more cold countries, the net have to be like little bit heavier, you know. And I think that in cold countries, sometimes, like when I go to Turkey, you know, we get like lot of net, but like when we enter like restaurants, houses, it's very warm. So then you need to take it off.
Take the layers off. Yes.
So I think it depends, you know, because I think net is every season, and it's a must-have piece, you know.
That's true.
So it's only just playing with the colors. So you need to know what matches your skin tone, and that's it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Rana, for giving us some amazing tips and advice on how to wear knitwear. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dina. Bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Eating is a vital factor for good skin. Not only will it make your body and skin feel great, but research suggests it can help improve our mental health and well-being. A healthy and balanced diet is key to health and well-being, and research shows a vegetarian diet has a whole range of benefits. But how to go vegetarian? With common misconceptions around vegetarianism, such as it being really expensive, we're speaking to nutritionist May Simpkin to give you a simple introduction to vegetarianism and to find out if it's really worth giving it a go.
With me now is May Simpkin. Hello, May. How are you?
Hi.
Right, May, where do I start with making the switch to a healthy, balanced vegetarian diet?
Okay, so a healthy, balanced vegetarian diet doesn't actually differ that much from a normal healthy diet. But what we really need to focus on is one thing, and that's increasing your vegetables and increasing your plant-based foods. So when you're eating a meal, you need to focus on how many portions of vegetables you're including. I would suggest at least 2, but actually preferably 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then also think about where your protein is going to come from. As a vegetarian, the obvious choices like meat, fish, chicken, and eggs are not going to be there. So you need to be a little bit more focused about where your good first-class protein is going to come from. And that will be from plant-based sources if you're vegan. But of course, if you're not vegan, then you do have dairy options and eggs available to you. So where do you start? By increasing your vegetables and focusing on the protein part of the meal as well.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Now, I've heard vegetarian diets are really expensive. How can I cut costs?
Okay, well, I don't know. Are they really expensive? I mean, most of the time, it's actually things like meat and fish that are expensive. So when you think about the cost of the vegetables and then the cost of those plant-based pulses like chickpeas, lentils, all those types of beans, cannellini beans, butter beans, they're not actually expensive. They're great things to keep in your larder. Yes, fresh vegetables can be a little bit more pricey, but don't ignore frozen as well. They are just as healthy, very convenient, so you've always got them, and crucially, just as nutritious. So if you want to bring the cost down, I would suggest focusing on frozen options as well, but also those larger ingredients in tins. So tinned and frozen options are just as good nutritionally, and obviously they are a little bit more cost effective.
Right. If I had a plate in front of me, how would I actually split up this plate to make sure that I've got my full, full balance of a good meal, full balanced meal?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually, because I think visually, if you can envisage what your plate should look like, then that actually can work as a basis for every single meal and snack, actually. So imagine you've got a round plate. With that round plate, half of it needs to be vegetables, which is quite a lot, which is why I suggest at least 2, if not 3 portions of vegetables. Out of the other half, 2/3 of that needs to be protein. It can be a quarter, but if you're thinking about weight loss, I would suggest increasing your protein element. So that would need to be about 1/4 to 2/3 of the other half. And then that remaining third, so we're really sort of pulling on our maths here, but the remaining third or the remaining quarter will be the carbohydrate element. Which is bread, rice, pasta. But even then, I would suggest it's a more nutritious carbohydrate element. So maybe that's where the pulses come in, and the lentils and the chickpeas. And I would be counting that as the carbohydrate element, but actually they are a good source of plant-based protein. So you're getting a little bit more nutrition for that same portion on your plate. So half the plate vegetables, out of the other half, 1/4 or 2/3 protein, and then 1/4 or 1/3 carbohydrate.
Excellent. And we're talking about protein that could be absolutely anything that is actually protein based.
Yes. So the obvious ones are the meat, fish, chicken, and eggs. But I think what people don't realize is that you've got all your plant-based proteins, which are things like lentils, chickpeas. Soya is also a plant-based protein. So tofu, which is a good choice as well. Eggs, milk, dairy, if you're vegetarian. So those are, but also, don't forget that vegetables themselves actually have protein, not the huge amounts that you would get in all those other foods I've just described, but you do get an element of protein as well. So a healthy diet as a vegetarian is perfectly feasible and perfectly possible.
May, just one last question. Will being vegetarian improve my fitness and health?
It'll most certainly improve your health. One of the things about eating more vegetables is you are providing your body with an array of nutrients, so an array of vitamins and minerals. Your body is happy. Your body then has everything it needs to work efficiently. And if it's doing that, you will feel healthy and your health will be improved. If your health is improved, that gives you an opportunity to pick up on your fitness, do more exercise. They are two separate things, but actually you need good nutrients, good overall health, and your fitness is linked both ways. So if you're fit and healthy, your body is happy. If you're eating the right foods, your body is happy, and you can then increase your energy levels to help you increase your fitness as well. So yes, they are linked, and I would say yes, you can improve your fitness and health.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mason Kin, for being with us today. And hopefully we'll see you next week or the week after, maybe, when you come back from France.
Absolutely. You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that brings us to the end of this week's Insta Talk. Thank you so much for joining me. And we will be back next week with all the latest trending stories from our fashion stylists, influencers, and lifestyle experts. If you want to continue the conversation and watch our weekly episodes of Insta Talk, then follow us online at WTX News on Facebook and Instagram, or visit our website www.wtxnews.com, or subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can like, share, and comment. So that's it from us. I'll see you next week.